The RBA were right to hold rates. Australian retailers don't need it. That's the thoughts of my next guest, Moody's analytics economist, Katrina Ell. Katrina Ell, welcome back to Dukascopy TV. It's always a pleasure to receive you.
Thanks for having me again.
No worries at all. So let's get straight stuck in with the RBA. It was rates day and race day yesterday. We saw a hold from the RBA. However, there was a hint of an easing bias, citing that weaker inflation outlook. Was last week's read really weak enough to warrant that in your view?
Definitely. I think the Reserve Bank has clearly left the door open for further easing, and they have that flexibility because of the weak third quarter inflation print. We saw core CPI come out at 2.1% year on year, which is right at the bottom end of the RBA's target range.
Now, one of the potential prompts for that RBA rate cut was perhaps to help consumers and retailers out in the final few months of 2015. We've had retail sales data out today. Does it show that the hold was the right move in that sense? Could retailers perhaps do with a boost maybe?
Actually, the September month data was actually quite strong. So it does justify the RBA staying on the sidelines. The data showed that consumers are pretty happy heading into the final months of the year. But I guess the boost hasn't been felt nationwide. We're seeing particularly strong retail spending in the interest-sensitive service states like New South Wales and Victoria, while the mining-dominated Western Australia is lagging behind.
It's been a bit of a data ream, really. We've had trade balance figures out today. Now, last month really showed a deeper widening of that budget deficit balance. Not such a pretty picture. Was this month's read a touch better?
It was actually a touch better. It was kind of the same vein of the September retail sales data. It was quite strong, in the relatively weak global environment. We saw iron ore export volumes strengthen a little bit more, and that's really good news because it means that even though prices are down and China's economy is a little bit weak, that at least export volumes are powering through all that weakness.
Now, we saw the Aussie dollar hit that 72 US cents mark off the back of RBA rates day. We're seeing a bit of toing and froing in terms of the longer term depreciation. What role also is the greenback playing kind of in this shift downwards?
Well, I guess the Australian dollar is a critical ingredient to getting the Australian economy kind of back on track in the aftermath of mining investment slowing. So it was a bit frustrating that we saw the Australian dollar jump up right after that RBA decision. But going forward, we are expecting about another 4% depreciation. And that's really based on the fact that US Fed hikes will likely get underway late this year, early next year, and that'll take off the appreciation pressure off the Australian dollar, which is great news.
Katrina, many thanks for the update.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to receive Katrina's insights. Our many thanks to her and also the team at Moody's Analytics. That is all we've got time for right now, but I'll be back with plenty more exclusive interviews for you right here from the heart of the APAC region. Goodbye.